9, 8, 7, 6, 5, 4, 3, 2, 1.
Welcome to this live stream. This content is intended for viewers aged 21 and over. If you are under 21, please exit the stream now.
Friday. It's Friday, y'all. Shake it off. Step inside. Breathe easy. Growing grind in the house. Wipe your feet at the door. Keep it breezy. Step in the room. Hey, let the weekend start. Good groove, good beat. Bring your smile, bring your heart. We're growers in the building. Yeah, we rise, yeah, we shine. We put love in the soil. Now we harvest the vibe. Long week, long grind. Now we're breaking the spell. Let the stress fade out. Let the good vibes swell. We're here for the peace, for the laughs, for the crew. If you showed up tonight, this moment's for you.
Hello and happy Friday, everybody. Cheers, everybody. I have to tell you, I've had one of those days where I'm kind of fumbling around because I don't know my time zones. I just have to tell you that. I don't. And I got really confused and told Jessie one time and not the other, and she thought she couldn't make it. But she is going to be showing her update for her grow. And then afterwards, we're going to be joined by Neil and Sam with Hole Junction. So
Awesome.
I'm really looking forward to that. So I'm glad you guys could all hang out. I do want to say hi to a few people. There was people in here early. Saw like Galaxy having a whole conversation with John Lindsay and Crumblewick. Just kidding, growing old. It was great to see him stop through. Blind Neil. Of course, Jessie is backstage actually. Default Behavior, it is great to have you here. Donna, it's nice to see you. I can't wait to see you in person. Hang out. I got to talk to you about that. We're going to be in the area on Labor Day at the fairgrounds for the Oktoberfest. We're going to be doing the 1 mile walk.
Marathon.
Well, Aaron does the 5K marathon. So, but yeah, we're going to be out that way. EE, it's great to have you. Tim in Valencia, is super nice to see our favorite cannabis enthusiast from Lower Michigan. I'm sorry, Southeast Lower Michigan. It is always good to have Curly. Curly, thank you for the update. I'll apologize in advance that I might have cut off the beginning of what you were saying because I screen recorded it. So, and that never goes well. But y'all forgive me. And there is Thurgood motherfucking Jenkins. What's happening, my friend, my superhero friend? John Ford, it is great to see you and happy Friday to you too. Everybody, Big Terp is in the house. Big Terp, your grow outside is looking good. I'm loving it. ACL Wolf, ACL, I think I'm going to do some germination soon. I just wanted to let you know that. I got to get on that. I just look kind of like in a downward spiral from all my shit grows, so I'm like, I got to get my confidence back. Sin Grows, it's great to have you here. Thanks for sending in some pics this week. There's going to be one pick in there we'll talk to Jessie about. It'll be the first one in your series. I probably should stop the video when I get to that point to show her what you were asking about, and then maybe we can figure that out together. So, since I really don't know very much of anything, I like to think I do, though. Just make sure I'm caught up with everybody. Be the Arrow, hi, how are you? Thanks for coming in and hanging out with us. Speedy Burst, it's so cool to have you here. It's nice to see you. Big Mo, it's great to see you too. You guys are really making me smile. Thank you for rolling in here and showing love like right away. It really means a lot. But, Neil, what's happening? I am, gonna bring Jessie up here because I know she's going to be coming up and then having to leave at some point because she's, it's that time of year. Again, kids are back in school and she's got some after school activities she's got to attend to with her children. So with that being said, let's go ahead and bring Jessie up here. See if I can get you up here, Jessie. Hi, how's it going?
It's going good.
Things are going really well here. I want to say thank you very much for coming up and being patient with me while I looked at one number and just subtracted an hour and really didn't look at what the number was.
Right. I had a slight panic attack. Like, oh my gosh, I did something wrong.
No, you didn't do anything wrong. It was just, it's me fumbling at the last minute.
That's
For a couple.
We're in good hands. Hey, Big Mo.
Big Mo, it's good to see you. Yes. Poopy Peanuts is here. Hi, Poopy Peanuts. Dr. T, what the hell, Dr. T? Where's your wrench at? Did you de-wrench yourself? Dethrone yourself? Dethrone yourself. I'm gonna have to take care of that, but I'll do that in a minute. So, Hydro Couple, it's really great to have you stop by too. It is wonderful to see everybody, and I want to catch up and see where Jessie's at because we know I'm having problems with my garden. So I'm really looking forward to seeing what healthy love whips look like.
Okay. I can show you. You know what I need help with? I need help with what's the best way to like join the live on my laptop, which it's harder, I think, to get like the close-up pictures, or my phone, but then it's like, I don't know.
You can do both.
Yeah.
You can actually mute your laptop and go in the same link on your phone and then just go live from your phone. So
okay.
make sure everything's muted.
Yeah. Well, here are the girls.
Let me put you on full screen. I'm such a bad host. There you go.
So it's fun right now because remember, these are 8-foot high posts and they're, well, one is past the 8-foot stake. The others are catching up. And it's fun, like all of this, you'll like walk out and the plants are like suddenly like stacking buds really like thick and
I looked in the pictures, they're looking really nice.
But you'll see like heavy defoliation. You can see, like, I'll try to show you maybe on that leaf there. There's like a little spot. Yeah, so we sort of have to maintain and do like a constant defoliation, constant like preventative sprays, regalia, labs, which you can make at home. That's a good resource too. And just try to make sure that we keep the leaf spot at bay. A lot of people here in Missouri get the little caterpillars right now. So BT like flies off the shelf at the grow stores. I haven't had too many problems with caterpillars, so I'm pretty fortunate.
Wow, it looks really lovely.
Yeah, and it looks
I'm so happy.
In the middle with the little sun starts peeking out at them. But they're just doing great, and the stalks are getting pretty, thick enough. They've only, remember June 8th or 9th is whenever these seeds were started. And, on average, in 8 feet.
Really, really fabulous job.
Yeah.
I sent you the video of mine personally yesterday, just to kind of know what was going on and where I was at with my recovery, because it's you know the strain better than anybody, and I wanted to see if you thought they were starting to recover enough that I'm close to flipping them to flower, because I'm worried they're going to be too big. I'm trying to maintain a nice even canopy and keep it down, but for me, plants, I just can't mess with big plants.
Yeah. Okay. Well, yeah. So that's good to know for with that intention, which is different than what like my mind would be to up pot them probably one more time at that size. And really this is what we do. And there's lots of different ways to grow, but I'm just going to tell you how we do it. But if the branches don't make it to halfway up that plant, then we cut off the lower branches. And so it's called lollipopping. And that just helps all of the energy in the plant go to bigger, stronger nugs. And it's not spending its energy on all of these little buds that don't have a great light source. So that's sort of how we do it. But yeah, they're there. And if you like smaller, more manageable plants, then up pot them and get them in there. And
that's what I wanted to do, like 2 or 5 gallons. And I do have enough Pro Mix that I could throw them in 10. That's the only next size up I have.
Hmm.
Well, besides a 7, but the way the 7 is just really taller, so I couldn't actually transplant or uppot it. So,
Yeah.
but the one that I'm thinking of doing is the one that's the smallest one. It's in the worst shape. It's plant. It's not the shortest actually, but it's plant number 3, and she's in one of those. She's in the web pot. It's like a open roots type thing, so she'd be easier to pull out and put into something else. And
Yeah.
she is in the worst shape.
Yeah.
And like I'm thinking maybe that would be her best chance. You
Yeah.
know?
Up pot her, and then maybe like a week after you switch it to flower, you could throw some more worm castings and a top dress on to give her some extra oomph to get through the next phase. Cannabis plants are typically really hungry, so
Yeah, yeah.
there are different like levels based on your growth style of things that you can do to sort of push them, or excuse me, push them in that direction of getting a little bit more weight on at the end too.
I used worm castings already, and when I up potted this last time, I use them. I usually try to put a little bit of my medium over top of it to encourage. I want to encourage the roots to get through, and then they just kind of grab it, and and it gives that time to get a little bit moist down there, and things get working like they like to do. So, but I love using worm castings. Which matter of fact, I gotta buy another bag. Well, before I go to up pot.
Doing our own worm castings, we're just like in the spot where, I think I've told you before, my outside compost leaves a lot to be desired, but my worms inside just sort of thrive. And if people knew me like from when I was a little girl, like I've always been sort of a worm girl. My dad used to take me like night crawler hunting before we go fishing, and so it's sort of fun to see like full circle. Now I've got a whole
Say
worm
that, and
colony.
I have the perfect guest for you tonight, and that's for Hole Junction.
I know. I'm excited too. I'm gonna pop back on whenever I get home, and then catch up on the show because I'm really excited to hear them tonight.
Me too. Me too. I'm interested to learn a lot because I hear bits and pieces of things from different groups, but to hear a lot of the same, all the whole, I don't even know, the ecosystem, but one person that's really taking it all in. And, I'm interested to learn more about it. I'm personally too lazy to do it myself, but mad respect to everybody who does.
It's so easy. I think that's the thing that like it really does most of the work for you. I'm at the point though where like I need a better system to sift the castings. Like right now I have like a little wire topper and 3 different like grades like that you go through whenever you're sifting the castings, and it's just a pain in the ass. So I'd like to.
Well, I'll tell you what, I'll try to remember. We'll talk about it with Neil from Wormhole Junction, and maybe I can get some advice for you.
Right. I'm right at the intermediate level of my worms.
Okay. All right. No, it's really interesting. Rob and I have talked about doing it before, and we weren't in a position really where we were. Now we kind of are, but we've already taken on quite a bit lately since we've moved out here with the garden and the chickens and all these little things that keep breaking and needing fixed or taking all of our time and energy.
I know, and it's like just adding one more thing to your plate of
Exactly.
honeydews. It's a lot.
I was going to show you the update for the rest of the growers that we have. We just have a couple this week. I know it's really hard, and sometimes I really need to be better about like putting out a reminder sooner than I do, giving people more time, because I think sometimes they don't see the message until it's too late about, hey, send me your update. So let me, I'm going to go ahead and play this, and I'm going to mute myself. Sometimes it doesn't mute when I show stuff, and then it ends up being really loud. So be right back.
All Love Whip is doing for the week. Might grow along with Mary. Kindway Farms, thank you very much for the opportunity. It's great. This is day 21 of flower. And the other one I topped for cloning purposes and then decided to run the bottom anyway. I'm spreading it out now for its transition. It's 7 days into flower.
Nice.
I'm gonna deposit this one here. This is the one I was gonna mention to you.
Uh-huh.
Sin Rose was asking, there's a leaf on there. I think that was what he was referring to, and he asked what that is that causes that. Is it like a mutation type thing, or what causes that?
Yeah, and I forget. It's I don't want to say the wrong thing, so I won't. But yeah, it's like a genetic mutation. It's going to happen, and I've learned like the more plants that you grow, like some of them are just going to have something. But yeah, that looks like a genetic mutation from what I can tell. Where the leaves are coming out there, he could retop that. Just cut that one off, and if you wanted to, or let it go and see what type of weirdo it is.
Yeah, I've had some like that. I just left them be, Uniqueness.
I'll always, sort of grow them out and watch the freak show happen. But that's interesting that it's just on that branch.
Okay, I'm gonna play the rest. I'm gonna mute myself.
Looks great.
So you saw number 3 there at the end?
Yeah.
That was the one I was talking about, uppotting, So I think she'd be a good candidate.
Yeah, I would do that too. Well,
number 2 is super, super thick and strong, even though it's still got that yellowy look to it. On the inside, when you pull it back, the green's in there, but I don't want to take the leaves if I don't have to. Not yet.
Well, and that's so our genetics with this strain, at least, those are F1s. So you're going to have some variation, like to stabilize the line. Typically, you want to get to the F7, F8s, side of it. That we're sort of like with all of the things that we know now, like with cloning, culture, like the hunt is sort of the fun part to us. And so, yeah, it's going to have the same parents, but I'll be a little different. So I went to yesterday. He has 50 years of grow experience, and I love like cherry picking, like the old heads, like, you learn so much, and then you can share sort of what's new and everything. But one of our mango jack, he has, I think, 3 or 4 of those, and they all are super tall, like 12, 14 feet tall, just humongous, except for one short fatty, and he's like, that one's trash. And I was like, that's the one I would keep an eye out for,
I give them all a chance because you just don't know what you're going to get. And honestly, I've had ugly plants that smoked really good.
Don't discriminate, I want to see them through until the end. If you're lucky enough or you're able to take a cut of every plant that you grow, so that if it is the best smoke you ever had, or have the intention to sort of like re-veg it so that you can keep on to that, that specific seed characteristics, then I'm sort of down.
I did not take an official cut like my other cup, but I just happened to, when I clipped something off there, I'm like, I'm going to throw it in this cup just for the heck of it. I'm not, when I get around to it, if it's still viable. And that's from number 3. No. The one that we're just talking about me uppotting, because like I said, you never know.
Yeah. And inside love whips are fairly, like, they're so manageable. They're shorter plants, pretty great nug size for the stature. And then they're just really resinous and like a great smell on them. So it's starting to get fun now that we're seeing flowers.
Awesome. Yeah, I can't wait. I can't wait to get there. I've got a little ways to go. I'm excited watching everybody else, but I'm envious. I'm like, come on now, I gotta flap. I will. I will. It'll be soon, guys, and I'm real excited because I just want them to be healthy, and I want to make really nice buds, and I know that I need to have my root zone dialed in, make those bitches happy.
Right. That's right.
But Jess, I'm gonna invite Neil from Hole Junction up too. You're more than welcome to stay and hang out and learn a little bit about worms if you still got time. I'm waiting for him to come. I'm waiting to see him on screen. I know he's got his thing open. So Neil, if you're out there, he's going to be joined by Sergeant Sam, which is his partner, and I've got to find out about that. I want to know what part she takes care of. Is she taking care of the garden? Is she taking care of the behind the scenes? Does she get her hands dirty in the worms? Is he the expert? I don't want to like grill him, but the general stuff, like did the worms come first? Did the cannabis come first? I'm guessing it's probably the cannabis, and that got him into it, is my guess. But wouldn't that be something if he says, I've been loving worms my whole life and decided to grow cannabis because I thought it'd be great for that.
That's right. Well, I would definitely love to stay. I'll follow up on this in a little bit. But I have to go to answer Syngro's 420. The flower time on Love Whip is 9 weeks if you're running a 12 on 12 light cycle. If you're inside, you can sort of cheat that cycle with 11 to 13, and that will shorten your flower time just a little bit. Okay.
Thank you so much, Jess. I really appreciate it. Have a fun evening.
Thank you. See you later. Thanks for tuning in.
Bye.
All right, and I'm going to add Neil to the stage. Neil, I finally have you up here. Cheers, Wormhole Junction.
Thanks for having us. Sam's just coming out.
Oh, you're on late.
Was that? Oh yeah. We're on in Muskoka here in Canada.
I saw a video recently with that in the background. It was so lovely. I'm like, oh yeah, hell yeah, I'd be there too.
Yeah. We like to chill up here. It's actually pretty close to the swamp grow, so we're up here doing some updates this week. But yeah, thank you so much for having us. It's I've been a fan for a bit and was very flattered that you wanted us to come up here, and yeah, very excited.
No, I was really, really glad that you guys could come, because I am interested, obviously, in what you guys do, and I think it was just neat how I felt like I just, all of a sudden you were just there, somebody pointed me to you, and they pointed me to your swamp grow, and that's kind of what reeled me in, and then all the other stuff was like bonus. So, because it's good content.
Yeah, that's what we were going for. We actually started more without the swamp stuff, but I realized the people wanted to know about what was happening in the swamp more than other things. So I was like, all right, I guess we're doing
interesting.
That now. Yeah.
It's interesting, but you're brave.
Yeah, no, I love it. I actually did the same swamp grow years ago, but it wasn't for YouTube. It was just for fun. And that made me feel really insane, like walking out to a swamp by yourself and just growing cannabis. And but then this time around, I was like, oh, got a channel. I should maybe do that. And it's been really overwhelming, the amount of people that care about these plants out in the middle of the Canadian swamplands. And I've gotten so many interesting, people jumping into channels just because of that. So, yeah, I was listening to you guys ask about what came first and whatnot. But, yeah, it's a bit of a mix. So we can get into it.
Yeah, that's awesome. Yeah, I had stupid questions though. People always talk about what came first, the chicken or egg, and for you it was what came first, the worms or the cannabis.
Well, for me it was like I used to grow, so I've been growing for about 12 years, and I used to go like really, I was just trying to like get the plants to stay alive, obviously, as most people are. But I started moving towards slower release fertilizer. I actually had a property on an island back, actually behind me there. If you look like there, I actually owned an island property back there. And sounds really baller, I know, but it wasn't that nice, but it was nice enough. But we weren't going there that much, so we kind of were like leaning into slow release fertilizer, and that's kind of what led me into the worm part. It was maybe 5 or 6 years into growing that I was like, oh, worms are the secret to having this sort of like perpetual drip of nutrients rather than just like having to always be there. So that it was definitely the cannabis first for me personally. But you know, I honestly wasn't doing it for anything other than myself. But then when I came back to like, it's kind of a longer story, but I had posted some videos years ago, like four years ago, I think it was, and I forgot about them. I totally forgot that I had videos up on a YouTube channel, and I came back after 3 years and I saw some notifications, and I was like, oh, I have people like that have subscribed. It was like 25 people in March of this year, and
That's cool.
I know. And so then I was like, okay, well, time to get back into all this stuff. And Sam's not here yet, but I'm gonna once she pops out, we'll talk about her involvement and all. But yeah, she's been a big part of just like actually getting us going, because she was like, she's a very clever person. I'll talk really nice things about her when she's not here, so she doesn't get too flattered.
I'll make sure she plays it.
Yeah. Like honestly, without her, I probably wouldn't have done much. She's like a very good editor, and like she's just very detail oriented. So she kind of got me going, and then we just started going back through my years of experience of like doing the worms. I was like, okay, yeah, people would probably love this stuff, and people would love just the straight cannabis stuff, you know. And I was doing that, and we just started piling things on, and it really was when we started going out to the swamps that people were like very interested, and it went from there. So yeah, it was a bit of a whirlwind coming to this point right now, honestly, of just like 4 months straight of people being super interested. And we're thrilled about it, honestly. It's really nice to get into this community. We didn't really like expect it, you know, but like
It's a nice community. I mean, most of it is really. It's huge. It's wonderful. It has you know, your siblings in the family that you could not see for a while, and it's all good, and ones you want to see all the time, but they're still all your family. So it's pretty
totally
cool.
like a real community too, you know, like not a lot of people are doing this for money per se, right? And I feel like YouTube's littered with these, like, you know, just trying to make money on things, and it feels like people that are posting actually want to like share, you know, and actually want to, you know, do this for the sake of it. And that's kind of where we're at. And it's just such a nice place to be. Like, honestly, people have sent such nice things to us. Like, it's overwhelming when you get these messages from strangers, but it's very validating, you know, when you're doing these things on your
Take
own.
your
You don't really-
time. You're having fun, and you can tell you are, and you're actually teaching. Like you have dropped a lot of real knowledge in there.
Thank you.
Interesting stuff that I don't necessarily, don't get me wrong, if you gave me a test I would not pass it, but that's just me. But I'm saying it's just nice to have somebody understand things that we don't all understand, and then kind of bring it back home to how it affects cannabis, you know, directly. So
Absolutely. Well, I've always been fascinated with like the kind of science of it. I'm not a scientist or anything like that, but my family is very sciencey based, and they've always, you know, you always want to know why you're doing things. And I think sometimes in the cannabis world, it's a little bit like this person told me that, and that person told me this, and I get so annoyed sometimes when I'm like seeing things, and so I try to get to the bottom of it. There's a ton of stuff I don't know. Obviously, and that's, I hope, true for most people that are consider themselves growers. You're always trying to get better, but you know, like experience, you just do it for years, especially with worm farming. Like you guys were talking about, you know, how hard it is to do worms. It's like, it's actually not. Like, first of all, Mary, you definitely need worms. I don't know what you're talking about.
call him. I say, yeah, you know, the chickens are going to be trying to get them all the time too. You got to remember.
Fair enough. Well, that's the thing, right? You can feed your chickens. The worms are very, very good at growing themselves. You don't have to do much. And in fact, that's like kind of how this started for us. Was like me and Sam got together a few years back, and like I had been neglecting my worms very badly, and Sam stepped up and basically rescued them. And that's kind of what was the start of the channel, was getting back into it. But they're so resilient. Like we neglected them. I neglected them for over a year. Like I didn't feed them, and they just popped back. So. Most of all I got is like experience and just using Google, you know, and I think that's a lot of people out here, but I'm happy that people feel like we're dispensing some useful knowledge. I like to think it's useful, but you never know what people, especially on these kind of channels, not yours, but just the cannabis world. It's like there's a lot of, I've been calling them like cannabis gatekeeping trolls, you know, the ones that are like, you can only do it like this, and you can, and you know, that's a very intimidating world, but for the most part, people aren't like that, and they're all really they correct us when we make mistakes, and I appreciate that because it's like that's the give and take of the community is that they're actually going to help you. And yeah, it's been wonderful. I've gotten great tips from people and made some really close connections with people that I would find to be completely random otherwise. Like I never would meet half these people, so it's great.
Oh yeah, I know. When you put yourself out there, it's amazing how big you can build your family.
Yeah, absolutely.
So, I'm not sure where in Canada you guys are. I just know you're up that way, somewhere
Ontario.
beautiful, Ontario.
Yeah, we're in Ontario. Yeah. Muskoka, this area is like a really cool spot though because it's like one of the only places in the world per se, I guess, but it's like all exposed granite rock like everywhere. So the growing conditions are really interesting because there's no like it's all forests and then rock. Like if there's any exposed area, it's just bedrock because this whole area was like scraped out by glaciers down to the bedrock. So the bedrock you see in any of the videos and stuff, it's like 4.5 billion year old, like the original bedrock below the 2 kilometers of glaciers or whatever it was. And so for a grower, it's kind of interesting because you don't have soil. You're really working with like bringing things in or finding these little pockets in the woods where you can actually possibly grow. But yeah, Muskoka, guys, Google it. It's one of the most beautiful places in the world. I'm fortunate my parents live up here full time, so it makes the Swamp Chronicles a doable venture.
Oh hell yeah! The swamp though, when I first saw you the first time, I didn't realize there was a dual purpose for your little nutting cat, and then the bees came about. Sam!
Hi.
Yeah, I'm Mary. Nice to meet you.
Yeah. Yes, we got the bees going on as well, but yeah, Sam is a big part of this channel, so everybody out there, it's thanks to Sam that we even have this going on. She did all the early editing, she got me going, and very, very happy to have her along on the trip.
Thank you.
Yeah, and we appreciate it because you're helping it bring it to everybody. So it matters. It makes a difference. So thank you for doing that. So yeah, I wondered, like,
yeah,
sorry.
She did her own post today from the swamp. We were like, we should do our own. You should do your own post so that you you get into it.
If you have your own channel, drop a link for it because I don't have it, so I can sub up and then I can watch your content.
It's through the wormhole one, but she took the camera from me and went in the swamp solo.
All right, well then I'll see it.
I wasn't allowed to participate in any of it, so.
No, it was just me and Wally.
So we're gonna start judging it.
Yeah, I thought it was a smart idea this week to go skateboarding after probably 15 years of ever being on a skateboard, and I tore my my like ankle, or not my ankle, what is it called? My calf muscle. And so I'm just hobbling around on a cane right now. So I was like, Sam, please go do something. The people need to know what's happening.
She endured the swamp for the channel, guys. You best go check out that video.
Please do.
It was fun. Not very educational, but I had fun.
I mean, honestly, my kind of content really is more entertainment versus educational. And it's not that I like to be educated in the process, but I think that if you're entertained at the same time, you know what I mean? It makes it easier to digest and listen to. And then it all comes back to looking at people's growth, how they are. Is that somebody's grow you'd like to emulate? You know, granted, you can't because your conditions are different, but it's really, you know, cool to be able to find people that way. So
Absolutely.
I'm never going to.
Absolutely. I find that the YouTube world is a little bit it's too focused on being like it's not that it's not fun, it's really fun, it's amazing, but like a lot of the grows look the same, you know, especially if you're doing indoor grow, and you kind of get lost in the mix. So that was like really Sam's thing, was just like, let's just make it actually fun. You know, like bringing in more fun elements, and like without that character, it's like we were falling into that, like, oh, here's cannabis plants, this is what they do. And it was like, okay, she brought the bees into the mix, so she can take full credit for that. But that was like the direction we're trying to head with it, is like, well, there's so much to say when it comes to growing. You know, like the cannabis is part of like all plants. So there's a lot of things to say, and it's like we can get into all those topics when you have the worms and the bees and other things growing in your garden, you know? I
actually, when you were talking to the guest you had from the bee thing, not that I recall a lot of stuff, but one of the things I do recall is you being able to pull back general stuff specifically to cannabis and introducing him to the idea of the cannabis community and all that through your conversation with him. So that was cool.
Yeah. Well, that's what we call it, the junction. The wormhole junction is like that space in between everything. It's like the Venn diagram where things come together, and you got cannabis in the middle. And yeah, I do appreciate all the like when I saw in the comments somebody saying mine are like not entertaining. I've been digesting like cannabis videos for like literally 15 years. Like, you know, Mendo Dope was one of my favorite channels. I don't know if you watch Mendo Dope. Those guys are like amazing. And like, you pardon me?
Music, I love their music.
Yeah, their music's dope. But that's it. They bring fun elements into it, but they also are just super educational. And
they're nice guys.
I'd love to meet those dudes. They're like kind of my heroes in the world of growing, just seeing what they were doing with these massive plants and everything. So
there's opportunities. They actually still play at events. I saw them last summer in Michigan. So, well, the one brother was there, the other one wasn't there. Don't ask me their names because I'm really bad with that. I just like the music. So, and then I know they grow really big trees. Yeah, I can't remember.
Easy something. Easy. No, it's not.
And I know there's a lot of new kids in the family. Their families are growing, so I'm sure traveling gets harder. But yeah, they do a lot of really cool stuff, and they grow some monster trees. I would love to have that ability. Who wouldn't?
You got that ability.
Well, I really indoors. I don't like to grow big stuff indoors. It's too hard to maneuver. I've been growing since probably 2021, maybe 22, maybe. So I actually hadn't used cannabis since I was younger. It became medically legal in Ohio, so I started buying dispo weed, and it was never good. It was very expensive. I was like going broke trying to use it instead of using painkillers. And painkillers cost me nothing with my insurance, just so you know. So fuck them. So eventually when they were talking about making it legal, I thought, well, I'm going to get out there and just grow my own and do my own thing. And I started growing in a shower, and graduated from there. Now I have a couple tents, and I have a greenhouse that I had a failed ending to this season with thrips with spider mites and powdery mildew, but we won't talk about that today.
Yeah, that sucks. Sorry to hear that.
Yeah, it's part of growing though, and it's like a lot of that stuff. That was my first summer in the greenhouse, so I'm learning. Like you guys, you said this is like the swamp thing's newer, so you're really learning as you do it, and we're learning with you. What works, what doesn't. Not that I plan on ever growing in a swamp.
Well, really, like the thing I was trying to do there was like, for us in Canada, it's now legal, obviously, to grow, and the fun of it is like gone. Like people don't do fun things anymore with it, and that's just the product of it being legal, and there's like no point to go do these things. But like I found there's a lot of nostalgia for doing these grows, and that's all I really was trying to accomplish here, was just like, let's just go do it. Like I've done this before, but it was more like a need and a desperation before. You're like going out to these swamp grows or your guerrilla grow, and you're like looking around for helicopters, like, oh, the cops are after me. I wanted to bring that back, and it's like I think why people are somewhat interested in it, because you don't see a lot of this anymore. It's like
it's like when people go camping, it's different. So, and for you, going to tend to a garden out in your swamp is like your camping moment.
Yeah, exactly. And there's limitations, there's certain things that are like interesting about it, because it's like, oh, we know the water is right there, and like we know it's coming up, and we know that's going to be a problem. And so it's like, okay, well, how do you deal with that? Rather than just putting the plant in the perfect spot, these things would never happen. It's like, okay, let's just play around with the fun of, maybe it won't work out, like it's like there's interest in that, and there's learning to be done, right? So it's kind of what we were going for, and it's something that now that people are interested, it's like, okay, that's actually kind of a fun direction, is to not be too concerned about the outcome. If it doesn't work, you make a bunch of hash. If it does work, it's amazing, and everybody's super stoked.
Or you feed it to the worms.
Exactly.
Oh, there you go.
I shouldn't tell you, but you should tell them about the video.
No, it's good. It's
Tell.
How old was the weed?
Probably 7 years.
7 years old.
Yeah.
Just how much was
Like
it?
3 pounds.
3 pounds.
Flour, yeah.
Yeah. 3 pounds of weed just into the worm bin.
Yeah. I had like so much weed from just years of past growing, and I just decided, you know what? YouTube needs to see this get eaten by worms, so we just threw it all in a massive worm bin. And they loved it. They had a great time. And it sparked us just being like, let's just feed them cannabis. And so now all of our trimmings go into the worm bins. And then we only other thing we feed them is beer waste grains and like some of our kitchen waste. So they get all the spent grains from the brewery around the corner from my house. So basically the worms in our house only eat cannabis or beer. So they're just
I like that.
Party worms.
they're party worms. They're just having a blast. It's like,
That's pretty cool. That really is. So no, I have to ask though, how long does it take to eat 3 pounds of plant?
like 2 weeks. It was gone. It's
Get the
completely
fuck
gone.
out. Excuse my language. Wow. I'm floored.
Yeah.
That's crazy.
We've also extended this to the bees. We were like, okay, well, like, we got these worms high. See if we could get the bees high. So
I did see the gummy thing, yeah.
And then I was reading that they won't get high. Like, they don't have the, I guess, the receptors or whatever it is, the neuroreceptors to, like, be able to get high. But it will pass into the honey because it just goes through them. So I was like,
Yeah.
I'm just going to buy a giant bag of gummies and just, like, feed them to the worms, and like always. And the honey is going to be laced with whatever was in the edible.
That's actually interesting.
I know.
An
It's like, maybe
interesting concept.
yeah, some different ways to infuse things straight through the bee.
But that honestly, I wouldn't be opposed to that being tested. You know what I mean? Like seeing something like that play out.
Absolutely. So this is kind of fun things we like to get up to. It's like I did growing for so long, and I love it. I love all aspects of it, but I don't know if I'm really the guy to be like week 1, week 2, week 3. This is day 40. Like I just don't.
No.
I do care. But there's so much content like that, and we're trying to make it like just whatever we want to do. Like we both work our asses off at actual jobs, so YouTube cannot be like super stressful. It's got to be like, all right,
Yeah,
we have
that's
to go feed
fun.
the worms. We got to go feed the worms the weed right now. It's like it's got to be something funny, or else we probably are not gonna like keep up with it.
Ooh, Tim already knows. Timiac knows about the honey.
Yeah. So we're just getting into the honey. The honey is a scary thing though, because the bees are a whole thing, and like you gotta.
You're so worried about the mites, I feel.
Yeah,
Yeah,
the
the mites.
varroa mite is like the big problem with bees. I don't know if you know much about beekeeping, but that's the one thing
No.
that. Well, basically, there's like a mite that is like it really messes them up. It like carries disease. It messes with their wings, and like it's just inevitable that they're gonna get them. And so there's a whole world around pest control with the bees, and it's like you can only really use chemicals, or if you watch that interview with the bee guy, there's ways of like basically trapping wild bees. And so he was getting me hot on that idea. Was like, okay, you just collect wild hive, and they're way more resistant because they're not like commercially raised bees that are basically built to be dependent
They're
on all
street
of the
bees. They know what to do. They can hang.
they got their gats ready. They're like these bites. But anyways, so that's our big worry right now. We're trying to get the bees all set up because they need to get enough honey by the winter, which right now they're not. The interesting thing about bees, sorry, I'm doing my rambles, but
No, please do. I like it.
they need 10 pounds of honey to make 1 pound of wax. And when you start a fresh hive like this, there's no wax. So they have to make tons and tons and tons of honey to be able to even build the combs that they're going to put their brood in or to put the honey in. And so that's the race against time we're in right now, is to try to get them going, which is why you actually feed them sugar. Like we did just feed them that edible for fun, but you can actually like short the time that it takes them to make honey by just giving them sugar. So that's what we're up to right now, is just trying to get these bees set up.
We tried to give them some sugar water and set up some water stations near them, but they just weren't taking to it.
Bee
And
beach?
the bee beach, yeah, we made a bee beach. I had a little idea to just add some sand. They need like a good incline to go down into, either rocks to like perch on so that they can drink the water and not drown, or like
Not be attacked by birds and
yeah, that too, but they can drown really easily,
Yeah,
right?
yeah,
That's
exactly.
part of the problem. So they needed something to go down into the water, but they hated the beach. So
We made it like super nice. We made like little towels for them and little like
little
umbrellas.
surfboards.
And
They had a little floaty lifeguard chair.
they chose the pile of rocks that was like in the bin next to it. They're just like, they're not into that beach life, I guess.
They're really not. Really
I would
not.
slip and slide. Just make them a
Oh,
slip and slide.
damn.
Slip and
We did have like a little floaty mat. We had one of those like those like rubber mats that they have out on the lakes. We made one of those for them, so we figured that was good enough, but apparently not.
Yeah, but definitely worried about them getting cold in the winter because it is very cold.
Yes.
Very
What do you?
cold where-
What can you do? You can't do anything. You can't bring them in for the winter, can you?
No, but you can do things. So that is one reason why they have to be stocked with honey, is because there can't be gaps in the hive. The gaps
yeah.
are going to be like where the cold air comes in, so they need to fill the damn thing up with honey. And also the way they keep the hive warm in the winter is by like fluttering their wings. So they have to have enough honey to like keep themselves fluttering, essentially, to warm it up. But you can, what I'm looking into is you can insulate the sides of the box with like rigid foam. And so the warmer that they are, the less honey they'll need to survive. So that's one of the things we're going to be doing in the next few months. Is like I'm just going to cut a bunch of rigid foam and like fit it in the box. You got to let a little bit of airflow still get through it, and they still have to be able to get in and out.
Okay.
Interesting point though. You might wonder what they do in the winter when they have to take a dump. So they hold it. They hold it the whole winter, and then they go out on these mass. They wait for a day when it's like kind of warm, and they go out on mass shitting sprees. Just
So if you're collecting beach,
they're really clean, so they don't want to do it in the hive. So they wait
well,
till they
that's
can get out. They just go for it. I don't know what I'm allowed to talk about on your channel, but this is the kind of stuff.
no. Please do. I love. They're really
Definitely
yeah.
not.
As long as you're not talking about politics, anything that's bad vibes, we're good. So
We're good. We got none of that to talk about. Don't worry. We don't know anything.
Yeah.
About that stuff.
None
We're
of it.
just
Yeah.
cannabis farmers out here.
I got my bees. I don't need politics.
and this stuff can exist, around us, and we can care about it outside of this. But this community is just so much better than that. Like, we don't need that.
Oh yeah.
No. I was going to answer the person. I'm sorry, I don't remember her name who came up earlier, but she said she's doing.
Oh, Jessie.
And she said she sifts the castings. Now, I would suggest to her to not sift them because you don't have to. And there's really no point. It's more like if you were going to buy like commercially like made stuff that you would want it to look uniform. But if you're just using your garden, I would suggest just leaving it, because then you're leaving that organic material in the soil. Like anything you're sifting out is just bigger than the worm castings. Like that's just stuff that your plants are going to love anyways. And the way I use my castings is I kind of use it like a soil, like almost a soil replacement. Like I grow in like 50% my castings to the soil that I bring in. And the more organic materials in there, it kind of fills the need for peat moss or like that fluffing material. And I would just suggest not doing that. If she was like, I got to find a different way to do this, just leave it. Don't sift it. Just migrate the worms out of it, which is pretty easy to do if you look up how to do that. And then just add it all, because it's all good. That's all I do. I don't. Only if I was to sell the castings to people would I like pre-sift it. And I don't think she was suggesting she's doing that. So
I'm worried about gardening, doing the rototilling.
Oh yeah. We've got when our season's over, we got to rototill the garden again. This is we just had our first season and it was fresh. So, and I'm sure there's much more life in it. It was just hard ground before, but I hate that part when you got to be cutting up all the worms and stuff like that. Now you can get them and get them out of the way. But
you never have to worry about worms. They're so resilient. Their whole point in life is to die. Like they're not really there to last a long time. They're there to reproduce, which they do so quickly. And like when they're really tiny, they can't be harmed. They're so like they can be, but not in the context of like populations and stuff. Like
yeah.
You're looking at like thousands and thousands, and you might kill a couple, but like that's birds. Like that's what nature's all about. One single robin eats 70 red wigglers a day. So
Wow. Busy.
like it is what it is. Our backyard, because we have all these like worm farms in the backyard, this is like so populated with birds right now.
So many cardinals.
They know what's up. They started showing up on their own, and we're like, oh yeah, they figured it out. They figured it out real quick. So That's just nature, and that's part of what's fun about this. It's like I don't mind if a couple worms get eaten by a robin. I mean, the robin has a life
Yeah.
too.
Yeah. Yeah. I hate always hate the ugly side of everything, even though it's always there. But like the poop thing out of the bees, yeah, that's pretty fucking nasty.
It is definitely nasty.
That is something that is a fascinating fact that I can't wait to use at the next party I go to.
Yeah. There's a lot with bees. That's what I love about this. And I think like one thing I think about cannabis is like everybody that gets into cannabis, they're just people obsessed with like hobbies. And I think that like you should all remember like all these other things are just as fun. And bee and like worm farming in particular, like really scratches that same itch for me. It's just like you get into it, you gotta learn a little bit, and then boom, you got all your fertilizer you'll ever need because you put a little bit of time into this little hobby, which it doesn't take a lot of time.
Oh
So
yeah.
yeah,
Yeah,
you're learning
definitely.
so it's like you still keep that fun learning going when you can kind of get tired of it when you're just doing the same thing every year.
I knew nothing about worm farming before wormhole here, and and truly I feel like I could probably create my own bin and
Oh.
maintain my own bin at this point, and it didn't take a lot of educating. It was just kind of seeing and doing, and
gotta get your hands
it's
dirty.
very easy. You have to be okay getting your hands dirty. And it's
I get them dirty all the time. I'm
But it's
definitely
really-
not shy.
Then you're good. Then you're good. You should do it. It's a lot of fun. It's really like a satisfying thing to see all of the little babies once you understand how small and cute they are, and seeing them all repopulate. It's a really fulfilling thing, I think. So, and
We have the space now, so we may, and yeah, that would be fun for the chickens because right now they just get occasionally a snack of the dehydrated worms and stuff. That's like one of the snacks that they love.
That's cool. So do you have like a farm, or how do you have chickens?
No, we just moved out here just almost a year ago. We just have an acre of land, but we are just at that stage in our lives where we kind of wanted to just exist and not be fucked with anymore. So we moved out here, and we're trying to grow our own food. We've had chickens in the past when our kids were little, so we got chickens, and they're just getting ready to start laying now soon. Pretty sure. So
Cool.
shout out to Bernadine. She's gonna be the first to go. I got money on it.
Nice. I love to hear it. Let's go.
Yeah, so we have another little channel, Best Buds for Life. It's not a lot right now. We just started on it, but that's where we talk about our chickens and our vegetable garden, and really just learning out there different things. So
Get the worms. I'm gonna give you worms one day, whether you like it or not. You're gonna send you some
No.
worms.
I think it would be really. I don't know if people do it indoors, but it would be really cool to have worms in an indoor grow.
Oh,
Like
yeah.
to see
for
that.
sure.
I've never seen a live worm. Like I always use worm castings. I think it'd be cool to get a live worm from the worm casting. That I don't know if they somehow maybe. I don't know.
Well, the problem is, okay, so I was gonna give you like a little rundown on why I don't like store-bought castings. And
Okay.
the reason is is that when you make your own worm castings, first of all, you're like the whole point of it is that you're trying to build you're doing cold compost. So there's like hot composting. I'm sure people are aware of what the difference is between hot and cold, but like hot compost, you're literally like heating up the pile of waste, and it basically sterilizes the soil. So it's a great way to like say use a bunch of stuff that has seeds in it because it will sterilize the seeds, right? But what you're left with is more like the the breakdown of it all, but you're missing any microbial. So when you do worm farming, you're really trying to build the microbial life up by cold composting. So the way that worms actually work is they're not the ones eating anything. They don't have any teeth or anything like that. It's the microbes that are in the castings or in the soil or whatever, your worm bin, that actually break the food down, and then the worms come along and eat what the microbes break down. So it's actually like you're really trying to jack up the microbial life. And I've had a couple agriculture students look at my castings as I was selling them at one point, and they were like, "This is the most microbial life I've ever seen in a sample." Like, it showed me the microscope 500 times view of it. It was like nematodes and microbes running around, and they were like, "This is amazing." But what happens in commercial worm farming typically is they want to get rid of all the seeds. So when I grow with my castings, like I get tons of starts. Every tomato seed that went into that worm casting like is going to come out as a plant. So you don't want to sell that to people because it just doesn't, as a commercial product, it doesn't really look great. So they heat treat their castings. And so that kills the microbial life. So what you're buying is still a better product than a hot compost, but you lose so much of the microbial life by heating it up. And then on top of that, they usually leave it around for way too long, and it's a time sensitive thing. Like if they're not eating things, then the microbes just start dying off. So you're left with something that's like, it's impressive from like a compost point of view, but it's like, I'd say a fraction of the microbial life as actually your homemade castings. So
And that makes perfect sense. Yeah, it really does.
So that would be my argument. I still recommend people buy castings if they can't do that, but if you can find somebody locally who's making the worms and ask if you can buy the castings are going to be way better. No matter what they're doing and how they're doing it, as long as they're selling worms, it means the worms are doing something, right?
Rob's over here listening to say no, so he's thinking. He's already, the wheels are turning.
Let's go. That's what you like to hear. That's what I like to hear. Hot compost is great as well. You know, if you do have hot compost going on, that's an amazing thing to do. But what I suggest, if you want me to keep rambling, or you got a question, go for it.
No, well, actually, Chonky has a question.
I see. Do you need night crawlers for the bottom of the bed and red for the top, or are the beds shallow enough for just reds? So if you want to do night crawlers, the deal with night crawlers is they live deeper down. They live like, they can go up to, I think, a meter into like a bin or soil or whatever. That's kind of what they do. They dig big burrows. So yes, you could have a bin where you had night crawlers that are going to hang out mostly lower down, and then you'd have red wigglers. And night crawlers and red wigglers are some of the only species of worms in the world that only live in organic material. And so that's why they're usually in the conversation of like composting, whatever. But so you can do them together for sure. It's no problem, but you'd have to have a deep bin. What I suggest to people to do is just do red wigglers, because they only need 5 inches of medium, like whatever you're going to use, like any kind of bedding. And you could just use like bus bins, you know, and the world of worm farming is littered with bullshit products. Like absolutely, it's embarrassing as a worm farmer, like looking out at what people are selling people. These towers are useless. Do not buy them. Okay, I don't care what anybody says in this group chat. Don't buy them. They are like death traps for worms. They make them too wet, and they look good. And there's a whole bunch of people trying to market this shit. And so they make it look like, oh, I could fit this in my living room. It's like, no, you can't. Don't do that. It's just like, do it the way that people suggest. It's like, just get shallow bins and you can stack them. So you can have like a rack system or something where you can have bins. But the red wigglers only live in 5 or 6 inches. So there's no point to have, you know, tall towers or things where you do this. It's way easier than that. It's $10 for a concrete mixing bin at Home Depot. Okay? It's like $30 for a half pound of worms, and you're done. That's all the expense you should ever pay for worm farming. If you're doing anything beyond that, you're probably getting ripped off. Sorry to tell you.
Can I ask what kind of environment, though, if somebody wants to do that, like, could they do it on an indoor basis, but like an indoor area that's predominantly cold, not heated, you know, but they could keep it from freezing? So, or something like that.
Yeah, they love the same temperature we do. So you don't ever want it to be hot, and you don't want it to be minus temperatures. And yes, you want to do it indoors, honestly. Like outdoors is more like if you had a lot of worms and but you kind of have to be okay with the idea they're going to not come back. If you go outdoors, like they don't necessarily want to stay exactly where you put them. So yeah, you can have outdoor bins, but the outdoor is way more vulnerable to high heat pitches. You know, like if you get into the 30s and 40s, they're just going to die. And if you get down to cold temperatures, they're not going to do well either. So really the ideal situation is that you do it inside. That way you can control the temperature. The smell is a non-issue. The worms digest this food before it rots. They don't want rotten food. They want exactly the food that we want. So we freeze our food as soon as we produce the waste. And then when they're getting the food, the freezer kind of like breaks down the cells if it's vegetables, so it's like a little softened, but they get it essentially fresh. And they break it down before there's a single smell. Like our bins are completely scentless, right?
Yeah.
Like there's nothing. So
that's
you don't have to worry about doing it indoors. Yeah, there's no smell. You just have to be on it. Blunt Force, let's go, buddy. Not really. They were not doing well with that small 20-gallon pot cooking in the sun. Yeah, there you go, man. In the sun, not the best scene for worms. I highly suggest doing it inside. Just start with a small bin. And really what you're trying to do is like teach them how to reproduce, or like teach yourself how to figure out how to get them to reproduce. And once you start seeing, they look like little tiny popcorn or like corn kernels, and that's their cocoons. And if you start getting those, you know you're onto the right track for environment. They just want an environment that's not too wet, it's not too dry. As long as it's the same kind of environment, they will start to know like this is a good place to lay cocoons. And then once you're into that, you're getting into like multiples of worms being brought into the bin like every month, and you're off to the races. Once you have a worms in a good body of soil, you have as long as you feed them. Worms like melon and sweet stuff and avocado. Absolutely. They love all that stuff. Worms like everything really except for like onions and limes and lemons and things. And well, they don't mind tomatoes, but yes, it's a citric thing. So you're right. Citric-y, but they will eat them. It's like really the thing is like all those citrusy things. It's more about the pH. They will eat that stuff. Everybody's going to tell you they will eat it. I will show you that they do eat it. Okay, I do feed them that stuff, but you don't want to put a ton of it because it will lower the pH of the bin, and then at a certain point, mites get introduced when the pH drops, and then they start competing for space. So they will eat it. It's not something that they love, but like the babies especially will congregate on anything in a bin. But yeah, onions and spicy things and high citrus is not always the best. But yeah, they love anything, really. Like, they're very non-picky. They're like,
we have a whole garden full of waste. I mean, we have a freezer full of stuff already, but trimmings from things. The chickens eat a lot of the seeds. They love cucumbers. They love zucchini. You know, they mostly the seeds, even tomatoes. And there's a lot of natural dewormers in some of those, which is really good for them. And then I like to feed them. I found when they were little that they love watermelon. Just I leave a little watermelon on the rind, and they love to peck at it, and they still do. And when it's really hot out, I have some in the freezer sliced up, so it's already broken down for even the chickens to eat a little bit easier. So
that's cool. I am so.
But I have a lot of that stuff.
We have just been talking so much about how we want to have chickens, but it's kind of impossible where we live, unfortunately. So
they don't allow them, actually.
Yeah,
okay. Well, you should be able to because you can catch chicken. I saw it, and I'm like, I hate that chicken.
It. Well, that's actually a cool place. This guy, I just looked up. You know what permaculture is by any chance?
Yes, I've heard of permaculture.
It's basically just a way to make a farm where it's like a closed system where everything that you're going to bring into it, like fertilizer or whatever, it's all within the system. Yeah, it's like a very heady, organic way to do things. Anyways, I just looked it up in the area, and this guy was like popped up, and I just went to visit him, and I was like, "Hey, I'm a worm farmer," and he's like, "Great, welcome to the team." It's like, great. So I'm going to be hanging out with him a lot, and yeah, he's got chickens and cows and property. So, do you put for it?
We often put coffee grounds for grit to answer.
Oh, okay.
Yes, but
oyster shell flour.
Oyster shell powder, flour.
Yeah, you got it.
And then coffee grounds.
Yeah, that's the way to do it. They don't they don't really. You can also use sand just straight up. So a chicken has a stomach, where they they need a mechanical.
Oh yeah, grit.
They need grit. So worms are the same way. They don't have anything in there like any kind of enzyme acid to break things down. So you got to bring a grit in, but you don't have to. But apparently it helps with a lot of different things. So we're cracking beers out here on the porch, folks. I hope that's kosher with the channel here.
Cheers.
Cheers.
It's not a problem at all.
We got Wally the Swamp Dog here too.
His own chair.
Wally's a very famous member of our
team. I saw a short with Wally in it.
He has not left me alone this whole time.
He is like the most
because you're loving him.
Yeah, I've never met a dog who needs to be pet every moment of the day.
Leave you alone.
It's just his vibe.
Cute. Such a beautiful view there too. I'm so jealous. I wish I was there too.
I'll show you a bit more here.
It's gorgeous.
Yeah, it's a beautiful lake. No, we're really lucky. My parents live up here. we don't live in such a beautiful place as this, but we're fortunate to just be able to drop in whenever we want.
Oh yeah, heck, just to have it to go to as a retreat, you know.
Absolutely. Free vacations on the weekends, so can't complain.
We kind of did that this year because we're new out where we're at, and it's a trip for everybody to come out here, like an hour and a half at least to visit. So yeah, we had a big party over 4th of July weekend, made it like a 3-day event, and bring a tent, you know, bring your camper. So,
Nice. All right,
and
we'll be there.
had a
We're
really
gonna come.
time.
What's going on? When's it happening, man?
It's such a good time. And then I tell you, next year I'd love to have a pool. This year we had kiddie pools everywhere. My daughter and I think my nephew, they went out and bought a bunch of kiddie pools, all the ones they could find nearby, and we were filling up all because it ended up being like 95 degrees, and it's awful. So we had a really good time. So
It sounds like you're living the dream out there, getting disconnected from the world and doing your thing. How did you come into all this? It sounds like you said you started growing a few years ago, but like, would you just start the channel and because I've
no, I actually when I wanted to stop just reading pieces of things because I would take and combine information that made sense to me and just say that way. Well, that's not helpful. So I needed to find somebody that grew. So I decided I wanted to learn about autoflowers because I had figured that part out at that point. And I Googled and I came up with Hi Again on YouTube. And so I started watching them, and I watched her, and I basically grew alongside of her with the autoflowers, or a lot of what she did, because that's how I learned by doing, you know. And I was entertained at the same time. They're really entertaining people. So really nice people, and shout out to Neil, who I understand just got out of the hospital. That's Neil from Hi Again.
Yeah, I checked out some of his stuff too. Yeah, he's I hope he's okay.
Yeah, I think he's going to be okay. I mean, the fact that he's home is a big plus. So yeah, thinking of him in heaven.
Meals got to stick together, you know. So there's not only so many of us left in the world. It's not a common name anymore.
Oh my gosh, that's so funny. Yeah, well, I'm a Mary, and there's really not a lot of Marys left, and I don't know, they're definitely all old.
Very fitting name for your channel, though. I like that.
Yeah, that's true. It really is. It works out. That's right. I'm Mary. Mary Jane.
That's awesome.
But I found them, and then I started to learn how to grow. And then they were all going over to Instagram, and Instagram has a nice chat thing there, and you can talk to people there and like show your grows to just, you know, a small amount of people. So it was a different kind of community, and that's how I ended up there. And then one day I just said hello, you know, and talked to people. And then I ended up doing early morning lives in my tent. And then eventually worked my way over YouTube. Yeah, I used to actually do lives right from my tent, not knowing what the hell I was doing mostly, but playing around with my plants like I shouldn't have been.
Nice. That's awesome.
In some cases, but learning and having a really good time. So, and then just
to gravitate to you here, it seems like. So good job.
Thanks. Yeah, we have a lot of nice people.
Absolutely. I'm like really impressed with the people I've met. I was not expecting to meet so many cool people, but it makes sense. It's just like I had been growing weed for so long and not connected with this community. It's like, I don't know why I didn't. It's like all the people you want to talk to, they're all online. And like Ontario right now, I got to shout out a few people in Ontario who are just crushing it. So Blunt Force Burner, if you guys aren't subbed up to Blunt Force Burner, man, that guy's got it going on. He's got amazing stuff going on. Fresh Princess is from Ontario.
Yes. TFE. Yep. She's been on the show. I love her.
I saw that episode. It was awesome. That was actually the first episode I saw recently. Like I had seen some stuff prior, but that was the first one. And so I'm really impressed. Just like Canada's stepping up, and Ontario has got some cool people coming up, and yeah, we're just happy to be a part of it in any way.
Yeah, there always has been. I think you know, Canada having been legal too seems like more accepting of cannabis as part of the culture, where still there's a lot of places around here, even where it is legal, that it's not, and it's frowned upon, and including where I live, you know what I mean? And that's always tough. So I think you guys, you know, you should rock it. Get out there, rock it. Show us how it's done. We're right there, though.
We'll rep it the best we can. We're trying to break the law out here, but they won't let us. It's like, like, come on, like somebody come after us or something. I don't know. Nah, they don't care. It's like,
You don't have to do much around here to break the law these days.
I know.
Hey, Susie, how's it going? Yeah, that's the other reason, like, I want to, like, just get away from people. It's no offense to people, and I love people, but I don't want to be exposed to more, you know, and being outside of a city area and just everything thrown in your face all the time and running into all these angry ass people. I'm like, fuck you, man. Don't be a Karen. And it's no offense to Karen, but instead somebody got me this smokable Karen. It's supposed to be a coffee cup, and I just happened to put a little cutting in it, so.
I got a few people I can give that to.
I love it.
That's dope.
I can't remember where I got it. Gosh, I got such a bad memory. Oh, and I haven't used that one. I have another one. It's just Puff Puff Pass. I've used that one, so because it's purple.
No, sip.
Was it? Oh, that was Puff Puff. Oh, it was Sip. You're right. Oh my God, I'm high. See, Rob's like correcting me. Yeah, but you had to probably look at it to know that, didn't you?
Hilarious.
So, I want Sam, since you're in charge of the bees, pretty much. How did you decide? I mean, what was your interest? Did you have an interest, like pollinating or thinking about bee population, or was there anything?
Good question. Honestly, I've always been obsessed with bees. I feel like I got stung for the first time when I was 4 years. And then I kind of kept getting stung and like throughout my life, and it's a silly thing, but I was so fascinated by such aggressive but non-aggressive bug. It's like so silly, but I actually have a bee tattoo, and I feel like I've just loved them for so long, and I love their connection to the flowers. I mean, I was very sad to learn that the population was dwindling, and if we can be a part of trying to bring back a population and do something that's good for all of the native flowers that exist. I know Ontario's kind of had a focus on bringing back native flower populations, and of course the bees in general. So it was kind of just a nice thing that I think would complement all of the things that we really care about. I think they're just so cute.
Well, I think it's awesome, and I think there was a really good choice, and I'm actually interested to learn more. Again, not something I'm going to probably do just because I'm in so deep already, and now he's over here with wheels churning about a worm bin stuff. I'm trying to get my winter chicken setup going. I'm like, I'm going to have eggs coming soon. I got to finish pulling down a garden. No, we do have bees. We just had a whole entire garden pollinated. So
We had some. Yeah, back
I had
there.
videos on the other channel. I
The
have
flowers up
videos.
front was all the carpenter bees.
With
were
bees
fun.
eating,
It was all
pollinating.
carpenter bees.
Whatever.
They were pollinating everywhere.
We're all
My husband chiming in.
Our next step is we want to get some bats.
Bats, yes.
We're gonna make some
We like bats. Bats are great for mosquitoes. And we used to actually, where we used to live in the country, we had bat houses because we had a creek running behind us. So yeah, Rob made them. Him and the neighbor, they built a bunch of bat houses and had them hanging throughout the woods along the creek.
Did you get some in there?
Oh yeah, absolutely. It was the best thing to have bats. And some people get scared. His mom used to get scared if she'd come over and they'd kind of fly low at dusk and they'd start to come out. And she knew, and it's like, no, I'd rather have that than a bunch of DEET, so just have them flying around.
The irony of our situation is that Sam is like cannot be around 90% of bugs that exist outside. So that's her security. She breaks out into all sorts of various skin problems when any pests her.
I have one going on right now.
Yeah. So the bats was like, well, maybe we could solve some of that with some bats.
The bees don't seem to bother me.
The bees don't, but they know who you are. They know what's up.
The worms are fine too. It's just all the other critters, I think.
She's got this thing called black fly fever syndrome, which is like when black flies bite her, her lymph nodes swell up and gets a headache, and it lasts for over 2 weeks.
Is that like an autoimmune type thing? It's so weird. Yeah, it's like, it sounds like almost like an allergic reaction. You get bit and your body responds to protect itself. Wow, that's crazy. Scary too.
discovered it from going out to the swamp, but still worth it.
Oh, and you still went and made that swamp video. Now, by golly, everybody in chat, please, guys, when you get off, please drop the link for that short or video or whatever it is, because now you really have to go, because Sam went out to the swamp to make the video. With all the shit going on.
I couldn't go myself, and she said, "Don't worry, I got this." I was lying on the ground. You gotta go on without
With his
me.
cane.
My cane. I have a cane right now. And she did it. So yeah, we'll drop that in the chat.
I did have a question though about the bats. So we talked to someone recently that had a bat house, and he was finding that no bats had gone into it at all. And I'm wondering if there's like a particular style of bat house that's a little more appealing, or if it's location placement, or if it's like, if you have any advice on the bat houses.
Well, speak up if you're going to speak, or do you want me to speak for you? It has
to be on the edge of woods.
It has to be on the edge of the woods. I mean, that's how.
An open field. Yeah, it has to be in the sun.
Yeah.
Direct sun. It has to be black. Painted all black.
Painted all
black.
Because it's gonna warm up faster in the morning, right?
I don't know.
Ah.
They just
I heard that they like it to be warmer because it has to heat up quickly, because if it's cold at night, then, or in the spring rather, if it's cold in the spring, then the heat will absorb into the black paint a lot better than not black paint. So that might be hard, I'm not sure, but that's good tips. We'll keep that in mind. We're gonna with a whole bunch of them. Apparently there's a bunch of species that are like rare and endangered here because they don't have places to stay. So we're gonna house some homeless bats. That's the whole plan here.
We found
we're gonna get them high somehow. I'm not quite sure how yet, but I'm taking suggestions.
We had a lake house for a little while, and there was these pillars out front on the front porch, and they were like a brick or something. I can't remember exactly what it was, but we really didn't notice much with it. And I don't know, Rob, could you remind me exactly how the bats were found? When all of a sudden I come out and he's got a bat outstretched in his hands. I'm like, what the fuck?
It flew out of there.
It came out of the pillars.
Oh, damn.
So yeah, it didn't have much places to live, and that was around, a lake. So there was a lot of woods, but still not a lot of mosquitoes too, but not a lot of homes apparently. So yeah, he just ended up cementing it up. So sorry for anybody that was left behind.
Well, our end goal here is, so we have, I'm not sure if you've seen our wormholes that we actually have in our cannabis plants. So we have the worm farms, like in our cannabis plants in the city. We have a couple ones that are decent size, but we have the worm farms right in the plants, like right in the ground. So we got the worms, and that's dope, and we're obviously good with that part. And then we got the bees, and that's super cool. But then we're gonna get the bats, and then we're gonna get the birds. Birds are gonna kind of get in there.
We've got going on.
But I mean, I want a bird feeder and hummingbirds.
I want them all to
exist. I want them all to have to live within like 10 feet of each other. Just see what happens.
That'll be interesting.
Bring the cannabis in, see if they can figure it out.
We also have a tremendous amount of raccoons, so that'll be it.
We can get them high, that's no problem.
It'll be a whole ecosystem.
Yeah.
That actually sounds like fun.
We were joking around about the bees getting high, and we were talking about all the bee dances. Do you know how the bees do the dances, the bee dances?
No, except for the kids' movies.
Okay, so basically the bees, so the bees, they use their dances to communicate like distance of like nectar or water or whatever. So they come back to the hive and they do these little like dances. They'll like go up on the side of the hive and they'll like start doing little patterns. And it tells the other bees exactly where the thing is that you're looking for. And they angle their abdomen according to the sun's like zenith angle. And it tells them like fly. That's where the expression beeline comes from. Like they all figure it out and then they all go straight there. But we were joking about how getting them high, they're going to get all confused. And they're going to be like, man, you said it was over here, dude. Like, how do we get home, man?
Bees. Oh my gosh.
We'll park these bees.
That's what he thought.
right?
Yeah.
There's 4.
Yeah, there's 4 different ones. Yeah, depending on distance and things. And,
and which direction to go. It's really cool. There's one that's like the waggle. That's the
the
figure
waggle is
eight.
the furthest, and then the closer is the round dance. And then there's one that's like just the There's some other funny things I'll tell you about females bees. But yes, sorry, you got a question there.
No. I was saying hi.
So the other thing is like all of the bees in a beehive are all female, right? Like there's only, this is the craziest thing about bees, okay? So 98% of all the bees in a beehive are women. And they do everything. They literally do everything. They clean, they make the comb, they go get the pollen, and then there's a queen. Obviously the queen does everything, right? Male bees are just drone bees. Their only purpose is to bang the queen. Can you fucking believe it?
It's just fucking
Getting away with fucking like the best lives.
And then they leave. They actually get kicked out of the hive. So the other day we watched bees. I don't know if it was a drone bee, but we actually watched a group of bees like escort a bee out of the hive right to the edge and basically shoved him off the edge and said, "Go now, you're done."
We're calling them deadbeat dads. They're just like shitty fucking beat dads. Don't do shit. Get the fuck out of my house.
Oh my God, you guys really need to get that kind of shit on camera and then make a short and add your voices and stuff to it. Oh, it could be so funny. Still there? I think you guys froze up a bit for me.
How did these male bees get
this?
Oh, we're good? All right, sorry.
Yeah, you're good.
We're out in the boonies here, so it makes sense. But yeah, the other thing is like the male bees hang out like a gang. Like they go away from the hive and they all hang around and they fly around, and then the queen intentionally flies into this gang to get assaulted. Like, what is this world of bees that they're just like, they're setting all of the other female specimens back? Like, come on, bees. Anyways.
Oh my gosh.
That's part of my bee stand-up routine, I think.
Do you have a worm one too?
A stand-up routine about worms?
Yeah, you gotta be more prepared next time.
What's the deal with worms? No, I got nothing on that, but they do like to bang. The thing about worms that's funny is like you open up the lid and they're all just worming all over each other, and it's just like you can tell they're having like total sex. Like, whoa, it smells in here. It's a little stanky. Let's close that.
Privacy, please.
So the worms are always banging. So we have one video where we open the lid and it's like jazz music's playing, or it was like funk music, and we're like, whoa, what's that? There's baby worms all over the place.
I take editing credits for that video. It's a good video.
90% of the humor that comes out of this channel is all Sam. I don't take credit for anything.
That's awesome.
They do,
I love you, Sam. You're awesome.
they do live birth.
Yay!
Live birth.
Live birth? Do they do live birth, Rob said?
Live worm birth, or what are we talking about?
Yeah, is that what you're talking about? Yeah, he's asking if there's, I don't know why he's asking.
So you can tell when there's little worm eggs.
Cocoons.
They're cocoons. Yeah, they are cocoons. Yeah,
Yeah.
they're really, really tiny, like amber colored,
Corn kernels.
like eggshell
yeah, they
looking.
look like corn kernels.
Corn kernels. Yeah, that's a good way to explain it. Yeah, they look like corn kernels, and they're so tiny, but you can tell that there's a lot of worm.
Yeah, and
happening.
you can squeeze them and they'll pop out. So
Ew!
Yeah, and they'll just come out and then there'll be worms and
You
whatnot.
didn't tell me that.
And like take them out, and then just let them
I mean, I don't mind sticking with the dirt, but I don't squeeze them.
Yeah, no. Well, once you get into worming, I mean, there's no boundaries on mess. It's just
Okay, all right.
my hands in a bunch of worm shit right now. Like how how bad can it get? You know, it's like it's already pretty bad.
Honestly, just digging in this flower garden that these people have had, and it's been overgrown, and we're trying to pull through, and some of the stuff, I'm like, oh, I gotta go disinfect before I can even go, in my lung room, let alone my tents, there's nasty stuff out there. I don't even know what half of it is.
that's true.
I've got newts, yeah, lizards,
Oh yeah, we've got these little lizardy things.
newts.
Newts, I guess they are. They're everywhere. It's weird though. It's so weird.
Are they back to the plants, or they're fine? They
No, I've not seen them in the flower bed, are they? I've seen them up front.
They were all over in the mound I took out, the old one.
Oh, some old
They're
mounds.
probably
Yeah, there used to be these
there.
mounded flower beds in the back from the past owner, but we
Millions
took
of
all
rare bugs, yeah.
those out. Put that out in our garden. So our now garden.
It reminds me that one thing I'd say for people who want to get into worming and they want to just like play around with it, make one of these like little wormhole things that I've been playing around with, which is just like you take a plastic container and you just perforate the sides of it and just stick it in your garden, and you will probably attract a lot of worms into it if you feed it. I feed them once a week, and you could probably start a pretty solid worm colony like for free with no intervention. Like you don't have to do anything, you just have to put your stuff in it. And then if you were to overwinter them, like out in the yard, you just pile tons and tons of leaves on it. And a lot of the adults and stuff will die, but a lot of the babies will survive. And the cocoons that we were talking about, they'll make it through. So it's something we're going to play around with this year a little bit, is like overwintering an outdoor worm bin. But I would suggest if you just like have a plastic jar, just perforate the shit out of it and throw it in the ground and just start feeding it. And the worms will show up. They're very, they're a lot more like, Big Worm doesn't want you to know this, but there's a lot of little worms out there that are ready to go. You don't have to buy them. If you have patience, you can break it, you can make it happen.
And sometimes if you go camping, you find a jar.
Yeah, we went camping this last week and there was a night crawler like worm bin that like, you know, somebody from fishing, and we rescued it. Brought it back. Like, we got to bring it home. Take care of these worms.
Take care of you.
Yeah. No, we have a no worm left behind policy around here, so we really try to live by that.
No, I like good bugs. I've always loved bugs that I consider beneficial, you know, and I just don't, and I get beneficial bugs when I need them, but it'd be nice to have my own little ecosystem that it was just there all the time.
You're hitting the nail on the head with that one too, because I never have pest issues, which I don't necessarily attribute to worm farming, but when you are creating that worm farm, you're creating like an actual ecosystem, you know, like where things are eating things. Like you get close up on that microscope, you're going to see some crazy shit. Like the nematodes just like devour things, and there's all levels of that, right? And so I think it produces a much more resilient environment for other people. You know, like you're inviting a kind of an ecosystem that's natural, right? And all those trophic levels have to fill up to get up to ladybugs. You know, like you can't just bring ladybugs in and hope they're going to survive. They have to have things to eat. You know, so that I it's a theory I have, but I think it's true that like if you are using living soil, you're probably going to be more prepared for any kind of pest problems that arise. I literally never get them, which I think is more to do with being in a northern area. You know, we have a very cold winter, so I think people down in the south are much more dealing with like thrips and things like that. But we don't have any of that. I personally, I've never had a problem, and I'm not certain what the cause of it is, but I have this theory that it's more about creating an environment that's going to take those pests out.
Yeah, I agree. And then we're going to get there baby steps, a little bit at a time. But I don't know. I'm so set in my ways with some things. It's like I want to keep using the same nutrients I'm using, but I know that it'll be harder to use them if I want to have the ecosystem in my soil that I want to have, you know, because it is synthetic nutrients. And it's something that, you know, I've used a lot of different nutrients, but I'm really comfortable with it and I can use it easy enough. So it's, you know, so that always has me worry about that part. So what I do is everything I add is outside. Like I want my garden full of that outside, you know, they're not getting synthetic nutrients out there. Well, that's not entirely true. I had extra Emerald Harvest nutrients, which I don't know, they might be synthetic, but I found the mixtures for different vegetables out in the garden and decided, and I'm asking the app to break down for such and such, and it's just like, that's really not feasible to use that nutrient line on an outdoor garden at its expense. And I'm like, just give me this stuff. I've got this leftover stuff and I'm going to use it out there. And the plants loved it.
Well, I mean, it works. It definitely works. That stuff's great. And yeah, I have a whole environmental thing on nutrients that I'm like tell people, but I mean, everybody's going to do what they need to do, and I don't think we're the people that need to be worried about it. But like, yeah, producing synthetic nutrients is one of the most carbon intensive like things in the world. Like if you look at like the top polluters in the world, it's like literally producing nutrients, not for us cannabis growers. But that was a big part of me going over to worm castings was like, it's just not necessary. It's kind of like putting your plant on steroids, you're like, they only get those nutrients as you give them to them. And then as soon as they run out, which at least 50% of them don't even make it into the plant, they just run out into the environment and then they don't have what they need 3 days later. And so I'm much more of a fan of like things like Gaia Green or anything that's a slow release because you got that like, okay, the plant's going to get what it needs over a long period of time. And I think it makes healthier plants when you're not dealing with like if you're in an indoor environment and you can like dial everything in and measure every single aspect, then yes, for sure. I get why you would do that. But outdoors, it doesn't seem to be.
No, outdoors, I like to I really honestly rather let things be. I mean, I treated the garden for a few things this year and I used like Neem Max. And I have some other product, I can't remember the name of it, I just got for powdery mildew because my pumpkin leaves were starting to get powdery mildew on them. So, and it's, an organic product. So I'm trying to get things that will support what I think the ecosystem out there should be. And eventually I'll get there for inside. Maybe. We'll see.
You just gotta do what you can do. I think it's like I have the problem of overcommitting to too many projects, and it's like you gotta just do what you can accomplish. And like if you know yourself and you're like, I got chickens, and that's fucking a lot of work. Like I don't take advice from a lot of people to add more things to my list of things to do because I'm already doing that to myself. I just like. Case in point, the fucking bees, like that just showed up out of nowhere. It's like, oh, okay, now we're bee farmers. Like, oh shit, like it's gonna take.
Well, yeah. Someday you may be chicken farmers too. You never know where you end up.
It's inevitable.
Wouldn't it be something? So.
Bees are a gateway drug, I hear, to bees or to chickens, rather. From what I've heard.
All right. Well, guys, it is getting time for me to head out. So I wanted to thank everybody for coming in. I wanted to really thank you, Neil, and thank you as much, Sam. I'm so glad you were able to make it tonight. I'm happy to learn about you too. And you guys crack me up. And I'm looking forward to seeing what you have coming up.
We got lots coming up. So thank you so much, Mary. We're very thrilled to be here.
Yes. Thank you. Thank you so much.
All right. You guys.
I'm just behind the scenes usually, so thank you.
Oh, no, you're not. You're really not. And I hope we see more of you in those videos, and I can't wait to watch this short afterwards.
Right on. Right on.
Oh,
well, thank you so much, Mary. You have a wonderful night.
You too. Bye-bye.
Bye.
Okay, guys. I want to head out. I want to thank you all. It was a really, really good time. I really actually learned a lot. And yeah, the wheels are already turning. That's always the problem. The wheels are always turning. Yes. But I want everybody to have a great weekend. Don't forget to go out and support your favorite content creator, whoever that may be, and watch your favorite shows. And sorry, I got cotton mouth. Herb Slurp Exotic Genetics gives me cotton mouth. Anyway, yeah, and have a good time and keep growing on. Cheers.
Have a good weekend.